ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः. We are seeing the fourth taranga, where Uttam Adhikari, named Tattvadrishti, requested the teacher to give the teaching, give the knowledge which is the means for moksha. Mokshopaya Jnanam he requested. And as an answer to that, teacher said, your desire for moksha is based on Bhranti. And this he explained from the two angles. In fact, first he has explained and the second he is explaining. The first part was that your desire for moksha in the form of Paramananda Prapti is based on Bhranti. And what is that Bhranti? I am away from Ananda. I need to get Ananda from somewhere. That Bhranti creates this desire that I want to have Ananda. And therefore, your desire for moksha in the form of Paramananda Prapti is based on Bhranti. Then second part of this answer is, your desire for moksha in the form of the dukkha nivrutti, removal of dukkha, that also is based on Bhranti. What is that Bhranti which creates the desire for dukkha nivrutti? The Bhranti is, in me there is dukkha. I have dukkha. Dukkha is there in me, Atma. That conclusion creates the desire, I want to be free from dukkha. And also I want to be completely free from dukkha. Atyantika dukkha nivrutti. And that is otherwise called mokshecha. And that part we are seeing. The answer to that particular mokshecha given by the Guru, that really speaking, in you there is no samsara. And therefore your desire for samsara nivrutti is Bhranti. Then Shishya said, if samsara is not there in me, then whom does it belong to? For that, Guru answered that samsara does not belong to anyone. And by saying this, what he wants to say is that samsara does not have real adhikaranam. Adhikaranam is locus. And by that he wants to convey the idea that if samsara is really there, it will have real adhikaranam. If pot is really there, then pot will have adhikaranam, the support, the locus. And Acharya wants to say, Paramarthika Drishtya, this samsara dukkha itself is not there, or samsara itself is not there. Then where is the question of samsara ashrayaha? So Paramarthika Drishtya dukham nasti eva. Then Shishya said, if dukkha is samsara or dukkha is not there, then how can there be experience? And yesterday we saw that Shishya's question is based on the two assumptions. In the mind of Shishya, there are only two categories of things he understands. One is experienceable existent and non-experienceable non-existent. Only two categories. Experienceable existent things like mountains, rivers, houses, all of them are what? Experienceable. My body experienceable, and it is real. So experienceable sat, real, existent, and non-experienceable non-existent like Vandhyaputra, Shashashrunga. All these are what? They are non-experienceable and non-existent. And second assumption is that if something is experienced, then it must be existent. So that is the second assumption. And this particular assumptions are the basis for the question of Shishya. So he says, this samsara is experienced, therefore it should be sat. Because if something is experienced, it has to be existent. And that particular question asked by the Shishya, asataha samsarasya katham pratitihi. For that, the Acharya is giving answer. What is the answer? Samsara pratitehe pratitihi mithya. The experience of samsara is a mithya pratiti. It is false knowledge, invalid knowledge. And when the teacher is answering in this manner, what he means is that your assumption that only there are two categories, experienceable existent and non-experienceable non-existent. These two categories are not the only categories. One more category is, and that is experienceable non-existent. Something is really non-existent, but still it is experienceable. That category you have missed. That something like Rajju Sarpa is really non-existent, but it is experienceable. Since it is experienceable, we cannot call it asat. Since it is really not existent, it is subject to negation, and therefore we cannot call it sat also. And such an entity which is neither categorized as sat nor categorized as asat is called mithya. That mithya category you have missed, and therefore you have got question. And therefore the Acharya gave the answer, samsara pratitihi mithya iti guroho uttaram. And Acharya said that janana maranadi pravaha rupa samsara, even though kalatraya asat, still the people who are ignorant, pratyagatma eva brahma iti ajanatam kevalam. So kevalam word can go with ajanatam kevalam, only for ignorant people, and kevalam avabhasate, both ways is adverbial usage. Kevalam avabhasate, it is just appearing. How? Mithya bhutam. Here mithya bhutam can go with the jagat, and mithya bhutam is adverbial usage. Mithya bhutam avabhasate. Yatha mithya bhutam syat tatha avabhasate. Means it appears falsely. Falsely it appears. Mithya bhutam avabhasate. And what do we mean by mithya bhutam? It is not sat, because it is subject to negation based on the Vedanta Pramana. It is not asat, because it is available for experience. And therefore, sad asadbhyam anirvachaniyam, which is called mithya, and that is the status of this world. And therefore your question is answered, that even though samsara is Paramarthika drishtya asat alone, non-existent alone, but still it is available for experience, because that is how the mithya is. Since it is mithya, it is available for experience, but at the same time it is asat. So something can be asat, really non-existent, but can appear, and such a thing is called mithya. And we have so many examples. He gave the example, yatha swapne anubhuyamana padarthaha akashe nailyam rajjau sarpadayah. All these things are the examples for mithya bhuta. In the sense, they are neither sat because they are subject to negation, and they are not asat because they are available for experience. Paramarthatah kalatrayepi asantaha api mithya eva bhasante. So even though they are non-existent, but they falsely appear. Tadvat jagat paramarthatah asadapi mithya rupena avabhasate. Similarly, this jagat, even though it is asat, non-existent from the standpoint of the ultimate reality, it falsely appears. And the two shlokas were given, arthehi avidyamane api. Even though the object is really non-existent, but samsrutihi na nivartate. The fear, etc., caused by the appearance of the object does not go away without knowing the truth. And to whom it appears? Vishayan asya vishayan dhyayatah. Asya refers to this jiva, this person. The person who is dhyayatah, one who is dwelling upon the objects. And here we have to understand dwelling upon the objects with the sense of reality and with obsession. In Mandukya Karika, the expression used is Hetu Phala Veshaha. And there it is, Acharya said, Yavad Hetu Phala Veshaha, Tavad Hetu Phalodayaha. As long as you have got Hetu Phala Avesha. What is the Hetu Phala Avesha? Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji explains there that I am the karta of this karma which is the cause for punya and papa, and I will experience the result of those punya and papa which are acquired now. This idea that I am karta who is doing the karma which is the cause for punya papa, and which will be having the result in the form of the sukha dukkha. So the person who has got such idea, then that person is said to be hetu phalavishtaha. He has got hetu and phalaveshaha. Obsession regarding the karma, here hetu is in the sense of karma. The obsession regarding karma and obsession regarding the result. And also obsession based on the wrong conclusion. I am karta and I am going to enjoy the result. So this type of asya vishayan dhyayataha, one who is dwelling upon the objects with the sense of reality, with attachment, with obsession, for that person samsrutihi na nivartate. The fear, dukkha caused by the appearance of the object will not go away as long as he is having this obsession. As long as he is under the spell of ignorance and ignorance born wrong conclusions. And for that example, swapne anarthagamaha yatha. Just as there is arrival of dukkha in the dream, even though the objects which seem to cause the dukkha are really not there, but those unreal objects can create this dukkha. Similarly, in Jagrata Avastha also, as long as I am under the spell of ignorance and ignorance born obsession, I will continue to have this fear. Sometimes people, they imagine some problem, that somebody is going to come and kill me, and he gets obsessed with that thought, and therefore, really speaking, nobody is there to kill him, but his thought frightens him. So one single thought allowed to get built up, then it becomes obsession, and that obsession will frighten the person. He gets all the psychosis, and that is the case with so many things we can see. And according to our Shastra Vedanta, the whole samsara is like this. You have got the samskara of the sukha buddhi, dukha buddhi in the objects, and therefore you see, look upon the objects at sukha hetu and dukha hetu, go after that and remain in samsara. So dhyayato vishayanasya swapne anarthagamo yatha. So this shloka is conveying the idea that objects need not be really there to create sukha and dukkha. Imaginary objects, unreal objects also can create dukkha. Many times we conclude that other person is not happy with me and we become dukkhi. Really that person is not thinking also about us, but we may feel so. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Yes. Now you are able to hear? Okay, you are the host now. I don't know who are the host. Are you able to hear? You are able to hear? No?
We lost Swamiji,
Okay. Now it will come. Okay. Now you are able to hear? Okay. So I got the message now. Are you able to hear now? Is okay? Okay. I got the message that you are the host now. So I don't know who was the host so far. Okay. Don't worry. So according to Vedanta, nobody is the host. Nobody is the guest. Yeah. So here it is said that objects need not be there for you to feel sukhi or dukhi. Your imaginations are good enough to make you sukhi and dukhi. In fact, most of the people are suffering because of their pratibhasika objects only. The vyavharika objects also make them dukhi, but more than vyavharika objects, the pratibhasika, their own conclusions, their own imaginations, imagined fear, that creates problem. And in the vision of Vedanta, even in Jagrata Avastha, what all dukkha you have is because of your projection. The projection of your projection means the projection of avidya residing in you. Alright. Dhyayato vishayanasya swapne anarthagamo yatha. So the message of the shloka is objects need not be really there to have sukha dukkha. And in the second shloka also similar idea is given. Avidya avidyamanopi avabhasate dvayaha. Dvaya means dvaita prapancha, even though it is non-existent but appears. To whom? Dhyatuhu. Here dhyata doesn't mean meditator. Dhyatu means the one who is dwelling upon the objects. Dhya, because of his mind, he is having the experience of the objects. And he gives the example. Dhyatu dhiya can go with drashtant also. Just as for a person who is thinking, for him avabhasate appears what? Swapna, dream objects, and manoratha, the objects of imagination, dhiya, through the thought. So through the thought, for a person who is dwelling upon the objects, he will have the experience of the dream objects and manoratha, the object of imagination. So what is to be done? Tasmat karma sankalpa vikalpakam manaha. See, the mind which is having the sankalpa and vikalpa, the thinking of pros and cons with regard to karma, that manaha, dvitiya ekvachanam, manaha, buddhaha nirundhyat. The wise person is restrained. In Mandukya Karika, he said, manaso hyamani bhave dvaitam naivopalabhyate. When mind is made amani, mind gets the amani bhava, means the mind is falsified, then person will have abhayaha. Then he will be free from any fear. Because mind only projects duality and duality creates fear. So when mind is taken care of, then this bhaya also, bhaya based on the perception of duality also will go away. So abhayam tatah syat. Alright, so that was told in the 136 that samsara pratitihi mithya. Alright, now when Guru answered this, that samsara is appearing falsely like Rajju Sarpa, he gave the example. So samsara pratitihi Rajju Sarpa pratitivat bhavati. That was the statement made by the teacher in 136, the topic. Then student is asking that Rajju Sarpavat, like rope snake, the samsara appears. So you are giving the example of the Rajju Sarpa Pratiti, the appearance of, the experience of the rope snake. So samsara dukkha or samsara is like this Rajju Sarpa or Rajju Sarpa Pratiti. Samsara Anubhava is like Rajju Sarpa Pratiti. So now student wants to know that please explain me the example itself. In Drishtanta, how Rajju Sarpa appears. Because if Drishtanta is clear, then only Dashtanta will be clear. And Drishtanta should be Prasiddham. Prasiddham is well established. In Drishtanta itself somebody has got questions, then Dashtanta will not be clear. And therefore Shishya is asking the question, please explain to me this Rajju Sarpa Pratiti, how it happens. So very elaborate discussion is there on the topic called Khyati. Khyati means appearance, and here it is in the sense of appearance of unreal, false appearance, otherwise called adhyasaha. So how this adhyasa, this false appearance happens? So he wants to know with reference to the example first, and then he would be clear about the Dashtanta. So Shishya asked this question, 137. Rajjau sarpa pratitihi katham iti prashnaha. How there is sarpa pratiti, the appearance or experience of snake in the rope. How we are experiencing the snake in the rope? Iti prashnaha. This is the question. But here it is not the only single question is there. There are other questions, related question is also to be understood. And that is, when I am experiencing the snake, even though what is there really is the rope, first of all, is it an error or not? There are some philosophers who say that is not an error. You are seeing the snake which is there. So you are seeing the real snake only. That is called, there is one khyati is there. And there are some other people who say that there is a appearance of the non-existent. There is appearance of this momentary consciousness. So many views are there. So first of all, first question is the Rajju Sarpa Pratiti a Bhranti, a delusion or right cognition? That is first question. Second is how the whole process happens. What is there is the rope and you are seeing it as a snake. How it happens? It should not happen, but it seems to happen. So how it happens? So prakriya he wants to know. And also in this This phenomenon of error, misperception, wrong perception, which part is real, which part is unreal, and what is the relationship between real and unreal. All these topics are also related to this discussion on khyati. Khyati means error, wrong perception, adhyasa, and that is going to be the discussion. So first question is asked, रज्जौ प्रतीयमान सर्पादयः यथा मिथ्या तथा एव प्रत्यगात्मनि प्रतीयमान संसार दुःखमपि मिथ्या इति यदुक्तम्. So firstly the disciple is restating what has been told by the teacher. That is the style. When you ask question, first you briefly represent what you have understood from the teacher's statement, because sometimes you might have wrongly heard. Therefore better you restate your understanding of the teacher's teaching, the teaching given by the teacher. So he does that. Rajjau pratiyamana sarpadayah yatha, just as the sarpa etc. And the sarpadayah refers to what was told in the 136. यथा स्वप्ने अनुभूयमान पदार्थाः आकाशे नैल्यं रज्जौ सर्पादयः. So that is sarpadayah. So rajjau pratiyamana sarpadayah. Of course here rajjau he has written, so sarpadayah means sarpa, pushpamala, jaladhara, all those objects which are experienced appearing in the rope, yatha mithya, they are unreal. Tatha eva, similarly, pratyagatmani, in the inner self, pratiyamanam, experienced, anubhuyamanam, samsara dukkham, the sorrow, the pain involved in this bondage, api, also mithya, is also unreal. Just as sarpadi are unreal, similarly samsara dukkha also unreal. Iti, in this manner, yaduktam, what was told. Tatra, with regard to that, दृष्टांत ज्ञानम अंतरा दाष्टान्तिक ज्ञाना संभवाद रज्जौ सर्पः कथम अवभासते इति प्रथमतः तावत् माम बोधयन्तु भवन्तः इति शिष्यः दृष्टांत विषये पृच्छति. So tatra refers to the statement made by the teacher. So with regard to your statement, O teacher, I have a question. And what is that? He gives the basis for question also. Drishtanta gnana mantara. Without the knowledge of the example, dashtantika gnana sambhavat, because of the impossibility of the knowledge of the main subject matter. Dashtantika means analog and drishtanta means analogy. So dashtantika means the main subject matter with the which is explained with the help of drishtanta. Drishtantena yat pratipadyate tad dashtantikam. That which is explained with the help of drishtanta is called dashtantika. Drishtantena yutaha dashtantika upameyaha. Thai pratyaya is there, dashtantika. So by the knowledge of the main subject will not be possible without the knowledge of drishtanta. And therefore what? Rajjau sarpaha katham avabhasate. How the snake appears in the rope. Iti, in this manner. Prathamataha tavat mam bodhayantu bhavantaha. Bhavanta means guravaha. Te manarthe bahuvachanam. May you, the teacher, bodhayantu, please explain. Tavat, indeed. Prathamataha, first of all. Ma, me. To me, please explain this thing firstly. What? How Sarpa is appearing in the rope. What is the phenomenon in the appearance of the snake in the rope? Bodhayantu bhavantaha iti. In this manner, Shishyaha drishtanta vishaye pruchati. Shishya is asking about the example. Drishtanta vishaya means with regard to example. In the matter of example, Shishya is asking the question. So Shishya's question is how the snake appears in the rope. What is the phenomenon happening there? If I can understand in Drishtanta, I will be able to understand in Dashtanta. And therefore, you please explain to me how it happens in the rope snake, in the case of rope snake. How snake appears when what is there is the rope. So, this is the question Shishya has asked. And now, Guru should answer, but before Guru answers, Shishya elaborates his question. Yes, Shishya seems to be well informed. So he himself has got the knowledge of the four theories or four views regarding this error, this wrong conclusion, adhyasa. So he himself knows four theories on error. And he will explain, Shishya himself will explain. And then he will ask that out of these four theories, which one is correct? And you know what is the answer of Guru? Guru say all four are wrong. So fifth one is right. So first, the four theories are presented by the disciple. So Shishyaha prashnasya ashayam varnayati. Shishya explains, varnayati explains, ashayam the intention of swaprashna, his own question. Means, what do I mean when I am asking you that sarpaha katham avabhasate? In which manner sarpa is appearing in the rope? So don't simply tell me there is ajnanam and because of ajnanam. All this is a very simplified one. But I have got four theories. So you please explain, tell me which one of these four is true. And therefore he explains his abhipraya, that what is the right theory, you tell me. I have got already four theories, four vadas. Out of this, which one is right? So under the swaprashna abhiprayam, the khyati chatushtayam is talked about. And let us be familiar with the word khyati. Khyati means, generally khyati has got the meaning prasiddhi, well known. Ramasya khyatihi bhavati. Ramasya ativa khyati bhavati jagati. There is so much well knownness of the Lord. So that in that sense, khyati word is used. But here it is not used in that sense. Khyati has got the another meaning, prakashaha, jnanam, bhanam. And this here author is going to say sphuranam. Sphuranam is appearance. So khyati means appearance, especially false appearance. So khyati means false appearance, and khyati is from kya dhatu. Kya dhatu has got the meaning of prakashanam, bhanam, sphuranam, and also kathanam. So khyati here the Granthakara is using in the sense of the false appearance and the statement about that false thing. Like we say, I am sarpaha. So the statement also is called khyati, and in my mind there is a cognition that there is a sarpa. That also is khyati. There is appearance of the object sarpaha. There is a thought in my mind regarding that, and I make a statement, there is a snake. All these things are called khyati. So appearance of the snake or experience of the snake and the statement regarding the snake on the rope, all three of them are called khyati. Mainly two things. Spuranam is the appearance or experience. We can combine this together. Spuranam, appearance, which is sometimes called experience, and the second is abhivadanam, kathanam. So khyati means spuranam and kathanam, appearance of the false object and the statement about the false object. That is called khyati here. But mainly out of these two also, mainly khyati means appearance, false appearance, error. So khyati chatushtayam means the four views regarding the error. Sometimes the word khyati is used in the sense of the view regarding error. Error is called khyati and the view regarding error also is called khyati. So here khyati chatushtayam means four views regarding error. Alright. And in this context, it is nice to know the shloka which we have seen, I am sure which we must have seen in Adhyasa Bhashyam. There is a shloka which gives the list of these five kyatis, five views on error. What are they? What is the shloka? Atmakhyatirasatkhyatihi akhyatishkhyatiranyatha तथा निर्वचनीय ख्यातिरित्ये तथा निर्वचनीय ख्यातिः इत्येतत् ख्यातिपञ्चकम्. So atmakhyatiः first, second is asatkhyatiः, third is khyatihi akhyatihi, third, fourth is anyatha khyatihi, and the fifth is anirvachaniya khyatihi. So this is going to be given here itself, but this is in the shloka form. Atmakhyatira satkhyatihi akhyatih khyatiranyatha tatha nirvachaniya khyatihi ityetat khyati panchakam. Okay. So here four khyatis are presented by the disciple himself, and while giving the answer to the disciple's question, out of these four, which one is right? For that, Guru is going to present the fifth one. Okay, that is the development. So, Khyati Chatushtayam, four-fold views regarding the misperception, error, delusion, adhyasa. And this Bhashyakara had referred to in his Adhyasa Bhashyam. Alright. After giving the Lakshana of Adhyasa, he had explained. Now, here Shishya himself is telling, Rajju Sarpa Shukti Rajatadi Brahma Vishaye Mata Chatushtayam Shruyate. Mata Chatushtayam, fourfold views, Shruyate is heard. Regarding what? Brahma Vishaye, in the matter of delusion, error, erroneous perception. What are the example? Rajju Sarpa, rope snake. Shukti Rajatadi, the silver seen in the mother of pearl or shell. So regarding Brahma, there is fourfold view. There are four views available on error. See how much analysis they have done regarding error itself. And somebody may wonder, why should we analyze so much about the error? Error is error. You just drop the error and go ahead. It is not so. Because our samsara is not directly due to ignorance. If mere ignorance was there, then there will not be samsara. As it happens in deep sleep state, ignorance is there, but samsara is not there. You are not dukhi. Your all complexes, are gone. And therefore we understand one thing, that ignorance itself is not the cause for problem. Ignorance by itself is not the cause for problem. Therefore, we are saying also, ignorance is bliss. Puja Swamiji used to say, ignorance is bliss when it is total. If total ignorance is there, is a bliss for some time. But generally, we have got ignorance of something and knowledge of something. And in such situation, ignorance leads to error. And that error creates terror, terror of samsara bhaya. And therefore, we are understanding error. We are not here to get stuck with the error. We analyze error and find out the cause and remove it appropriately. And therefore, we are doing the analysis of error. And to understand the error with regard to our Atma, first the example part is explained. Because Drishtanta, if it is clear, then Dashtanta will become clear. So, to make the Dashtanta, the main subject clear, the Drishtanta is explained. So, first, the Drishtanta, in Drishtanta, there is an error of the rope snake, etc. How it happens? For that, he says that fourfold views are there. Tatra. Of these fourfold views, Shunyavadi Asatkyatim Aha. So, first one is Asatkyati. Khyati, as we have seen, appearance of what? Asat, non-existent. So, first view is Asatkyati, appearance of non-existent. And who says this? Shunyavadi, nihilist. Shunyavadi, Shunyam Siddhantatvena vadati iti Shunyavadi. So, one who is saying that zero, non-existence is the reality of everything, that particular person is called Shunyavadi, Buddhist. So, Shunyavadi, he aha, tells. What does he say about the error? If you ask him, what is this Rajju Sarpa Pratiti? His one word answer is Asatkyatihi. It is the appearance of non-existent snake. And we will understand the significance of this word Asat when it comes to the explanation of Asatkyati. So, at this juncture, he is just giving the list. So, Asatkyati means the appearance of non-existent. And that's what Shunyavadi Aha tells. Kshanika Vijnanavadi Atmakhyati Machaste. Kshanika Vijnanavadi means one more Buddhist, one branch of this Buddhism is, they say that Atma is Kshanika Vijnanam, momentary consciousness. And momentary consciousness alone appears as everything, including Rajju Sarpa, about which you are doing the analysis. So, he says, Kshanika Vijnanavadi, the philosopher who talks about the momentary consciousness as the ultimate reality, Achaste. Achaste means declares, tells. Atmakhyatihi. Atmakhyati means the appearance of the self. So, rope snake is what? Atmakhyatihi, appearance of the self. What is the self? Momentary consciousness. So, momentary consciousness, which is Atma, that alone appears as the snake. This particular view is called Atmakhyatihi. Khyati means appearance, Atma means the self, which is momentary consciousness. So, the appearance of the self, which is momentary consciousness. So, if you ask him what is Sarpa Pratitihi, he said Sarpa Pratiti is the appearance of the self, which is momentary consciousness. Atmanaha Khyatihi, Atmakhyatihi. Earlier Asat Khyatihi means what? Asataha Khyatihi, Asat Khyatihi. Now third, Nayyayikaha वैशेषिकाः च अन्यथा ख्यातिम् आतिष्ठन्ते. Atishtante means they follow. Naiyayikas, those who are following the Nyaya Shastra. Vaisheshikas, those who follow the Vaisheshika Darshanam, they are called Naiyayika Vaisheshikaha. Atishtante, they follow Anyatha Khyatihi, the appearance of something somewhere else. Appearance of something which is somewhere, it is appearing somewhere else. So anyatha khyati means appearance, khyati means appearance of something anyatha. Anyatha means anyatra, elsewhere. Appearance of something elsewhere. What does it mean? He is going to explain, but at this juncture we can understand just the word anyatha. What he means, that rope snake is really there in ant hill, Valmika, and this person is seeing that real snake only. Only mistake is that he is seeing the rope snake, not seeing the snake, not in the Valmika, he is seeing it in the rope. Where the rope is, there he is seeing. So he is seeing the real snake, but he is seeing the snake not in the anthill, not in that hole, but it is seeing in the rope. So, anyatra vartamanaha sarpaha anyatra bhasyate, anyatra va bhasate. No internet.
Recording in progress.
Yes, are you able to hear me? No? Okay.
Now we can.
Oh, okay.
Just now.
Yeah, okay. In between, the internet went off. Yeah. Alright, so we were seeing Anyatha Khyati means appearance of real object somewhere else. Anyatha has got the meaning somewhere else. Anyatra, somewhere else. Something is there in one place, but it appears somewhere else. That is called Anyatha Khyati. So Nayayikas and Vaisheshikas, they are saying, when you are seeing the snake in the rope, that time you are seeing the real snake which is there in anthill. But you are seeing it here where the rope is. So mistake is not regarding the object. Mistake is regarding the location of the object. Your mistake is not that you are seeing something as something else. That is not the mistake. But you are seeing the snake which is there in some other place, you are seeing it here. So that is a very funny explanation, we will see, but that is called Anyatha Khyati, seeing something differently. So what is Sarpa Pratiti? Seeing something differently, and differently means in different place, seeing it where it is not there. That is Anyatha Khyati. Sankhya and Prabhakara. Sankhya means those who are following Sankhya Shastra. Prabhakara means those who are following the Prabhakara, who was a Mimamsaka. So Prabhakara and Sankhya. Prabhakara refers to Mimamsaka. Akhyatim vadanti. They are telling that really there is no error. No error with reference to the object, no error with reference to even location. Nayayika said there is no error regarding the object. You are seeing the real snake only. You are not seeing something as something else. Only thing you are seeing this object in different place. So Nayayikas are talking about the error regarding location. Whereas this Sankhya and Prabhakara says there is no error with regard to the object, there is no error with regard to even the location. So Akhyatihi means non-error. Only thing that they say that why do we feel that where Rajju is we are seeing the Sarpa? He says there is a confusion between this Pratyaksha Jnanam and Smaranatmakam Jnanam. We are not having the Viveka between the Pratyaksha and the Smarana, and therefore there is appearance. So they say Akhyati means there is no error. So Akhyati means non-error. Alright, so these are the 4 Kyatis which are introduced. Now, from the next topic, the description of each Kyati is given. Asat Kyatihi. Tatra asat Kyatim Angīkurvatam Shunyavadinam Evam Ashayaha. So he says that Shunyavadinam, the people who are nihilist, who says Shunyam is the reality, and they Angīkurvatam, they are accepting Asat Khyati. Tatra means among these 4. Among these 4, those who are accepting Asat Khyati, the experience of non-existent, Evam Ashayaha, their intention or intended idea is as follows. So Evam is in this following manner. So the intention of Shunyavadi who are accepting the Asat Khyati is as follows. What is their abhipraya? Rajjau tavat sarpaha atyantam asan. He says, tavat, first of all, the sarpaha, the snake which is appearing in the rope, Rajjau, atyantam asat, means completely non-existent. And what is the meaning of atyantam? Kalatraye api, in all 3 periods of time, it is asat. Means this sarpa which was seen by you was not there, is not there, and cannot be there. And what about this real snake? At least somewhere the real snake is there. If we ask them, they say, Tatha eva अन्यत्र अपि सर्पः अत्यन्तम् असन्नेव. Similarly, anyatra api, elsewhere also. And elsewhere means what? Valmikadau api. Valmika means the ant hill or any hole where Sarpa stays is called Valmikadi. Valmika means ant hill. And Adi Padena, hole, whatever place where snake generally stays. So there also Sarpaha Atyantam Asanneva. So what you are considering to be real snake, that also is asat only. Atyantam asanneva. That also is completely asad only. So the snake which is appearing on the rope is non-existent, and the snake which is appearing in the anthill also is non-existent. And if we ask them, it is not written here, but if we ask them about the rope, what about the rope? At least rope is real. He said, no, rope also is asat. But that is not relevant here, therefore it doesn't say. But in vision of Shunyavadi, even the rope is asat. And what we are calling as an empirical snake, that also is asat. And definitely this pratibhasika, the snake which is appearing on the rope, that is completely asat. Evam atyanta asatah sarpasya pratitihi rajjo bhavati. In this manner, the pratiti, the experience of the snake, what type of snake? Atyanta asata, totally non-existent. Rajjo bhavati, happens on the rope. So the experience of the rope which is totally non-existent happens on the rope, means it is seen in the rope. Here pratiti is there, it is because of the rori dralope dirgona. So because of that the pratiti happens. Originally is pratitihi, then visarga changed to refa, and then refa lopa will happen, and then dirgona, the an will become dirgha, therefore e becomes e. Pratiti rajjo bhavati. Okay. Imam eva asat khyatim ahuhu shunyavadinah. Shunyavadi ahuhu declare Imam this particular explanation as asat khyati, as the experience or appearance of non-existent. So this particular explanation is called asat khyati, and he gives the derivation of this asat khyati. How? What is the derivation? Atyanta satah sarpasya khyatihi spuranam abhivadanam cha asat khyatihi iti. So main word is what? Asatah khyatihi asat khyatihi. Shashti tatpurusha samasa. Khyati is equal to spuranam. Spuranam is appearance. Abhivadanam cha, and statement, talking about. So appearance and talking about, that is the meaning of khyati. Of what? Sarpa. In the Drishtanta, sarpa, snake. What type of snake? Atyanta sataha, of totally non-existent, is asat khyatihi. So asat khyati means the appearance and the statement regarding the snake which is completely asat. Iti, in this manner, shunyavadinah vadanti. In this manner, they declare the asat khyatihi. Alright, then next one is atma khyati, which we'll see in the next class, which will be on Monday. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.